Okay people, gonna have a look here at the 2021 Leaving Cert axonometric question. Now I'm gonna set this up, but what is key here, I'll just highlight here. You're going to be starting off with this green axonometric plane here, that green triangle. Now you're going to be drawing it light. So what you got to do there is like, that's vertical. So this is 110 degrees, which is 20 degrees down. And you can come over 50 there, and that gives you this horizontal line here, and that there then is, sorry, this side then is perpendicular to that, so that's basically, that's perpendicular going up there, and this one, if I extended this axis over, that's perpendicular here. So I would be setting up there like vertical 20 degrees down the way, coming out 50, and to that point there, going over 40, and that'll give me that point there, and this line is perpendicular to that, and that line is perpendicular to this. So I'm going to set that up there, and I'll just pause it there then after that. Okay, so I was going to skip this, but maybe I'll just go through it. It might be safer to run through it. So I want to go over 50 to the left, to the right, and when I come down, then that is one definite corner on my axonometric plane, and the next corner then is over 90. So that's there. And I will try to put in this axonometric plane light in green. So that is the bottom of the axonometric plane. And this here is my line of intersection between, the easiest way to think of it is between the floor and the right hand wall. Now the next thing I want to do there then is, these are perpendicular, so I want, once I get the angle here of that line, this is perpendicular, so that's going up there at that angle, and I can just come back down here then, but that's automatically going to be perpendicular to this one. So like if I extended that line there, that line of intersection between the right hand wall and the horizontal plane of the ground, if I ran that over there, like, that's automatically going to be perpendicular as well. So they're always perpendicular, that to this, that to the vertical, and this line to that line of intersection there between the left hand wall and the floor. So that's my axonometric plane set up. I know it's a bit slow now, but it's probably safer. Now what I want to do there now is I just want to move these lines out parallel. So just move them out a bit here parallel. I'll keep them in green as well so you can see where they're coming from. So just slide those out parallel a bit, and okay, so that here now, I'll just heave that in a little bit. That is moved out there parallel. And I want to do the same then at the other side. So I want to take that line out parallel, but I want to keep the exact same distance as well. So when I move that out, it goes out to there. Okay, so that now is both of those. So that's that line moved out here, that line moved out there. I want to bisect them now and draw a semicircle on them. So open up the compass more than halfways. I'm trying to keep these fairly light now, just to, but not so light that you can't see them. So just bisect them. So I'll get the midpoint. And I'm going to draw then those semicircles here, and they're going to locate for me the corners of the side view and the front view, which are 90-degree angles. So that's a 90-degree angle there. That's a 90-degree angle there, because that's using the angle in the semicircle is 90 degrees. So those are my two semicircles. So when I extend out where the corner of the room there now, that's it. So that there is the wall, the vertical plane. This is the floor at 90 degrees to it. And the same on the other side. When you shoot out the corner of the room like that, or the point of intersection of all your planes, and you're using the angle in a semicircle there then, so that's the wall, and that is the horizontal plane or the floor. And when all that is done, now you're ready to start drawing the front view of the table tennis table and the side view of the table tennis table there. So I just pause this now, because that's, you know, any Leaving Cert higher level student, you won't have any problems drawing that. That's straightforward enough. Okay, so that there now is set up. There's our side view, there's our front view, and we're ready to start projecting. Now, I don't know, does it matter really, but for some strange reason I kind of feel I might rather draw the top of it and the net first. Not that it really matters, and I'll deal with the curve afterwards then. So I'll just project in here the top of the table. I might have kept this marginally too close now. I'm not sure if I'm going to be drawing down on top of myself here, on top of the views. I'll see in a second. Not a big deal, to be honest, just makes it a little bit harder to follow. Maybe we might get away with it. So be careful now, don't mix up the tabletop with the net. So the top of the table is going from here to there. And so don't mix up the top of the table with the top of the net. And from here to there. So I am drawing it down on top of the view a little bit, so apologies for that. Now it's going to just make it a tiny bit trickier to see, not much. Okay, so there's my tabletop. I'm going to bring down there next to the bottom of the net. So there's the bottom of the net coming down from here. So I can heavy that in. And then that goes up vertically. And down again from, I could bring it from both views, but it doesn't matter. It's better enough just to bring it from one. So here, coming down from there is the top of my net. So that there is the net. Just to help see that there, I think I'm going to pause this for a second and colour that in, because I don't know, well, it's pretty clear to see, but still. Okay, so now the next thing I'm going to do there is I'm going to project this, it's a semicircle here, but it's not going to be a semicircle down here, like it's going to be a curve. So I'm just going to go through the front curve here and the two support legs going up there then. So to do that, just bring down first of all, I'm going to get the start and the end of the curve first. So if I call that the start, and I'm going to call this the end of the curve, and I'll call this the top of the curve. So there are 3 key points in the curve. So to locate it, they're all on this line. So, or not all, sorry, but the start and the end are on that line. So when I bring them down, now there's a lot to be said there. I really should be using this set square, the adjustable set square. It's very handy for questions like this now, where it's not 30 degree or 45 degree there, so it's just a bit more straightforward to project on like that. So the start, here's the end. Okay, so I'll just mark that there. So that's the end of the curve. This is the start of the curve. And the top of the curve is here. I'll just put a little T in there anyway. Top of the curve is here underneath the net. So how many points would you want really? Well look, I'm going to call these both 0.1s. Now, how am I going to find these 0.1s down here? Now I could use the height, but what I'm going to do instead of using the height is I'm going to pick 2 random point 0.2 here, and I do think it's easier either to keep, I'm going to take a second 0.2 at the same height. So I'll just take that across the ways, and there's my 0.2. So I have 2.1s, 2.2s. That's loads of points. That's gonna do me. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take all my curve off the one view. So I'm gonna bring 2 down to the ground, 1 down to the ground, and the same at the left. It's symmetrical, but 2 and 1 down to the ground. Project them down here now to find them on the ground. So that's a 0.1. This is a 0.2. And here is the other 0.2 and the other 0.1. So just extend them down a bit further. 2 and 1. Now they're straight above there then. So I found them on the ground here, brought them down to the ground. I'm going to bring them back up now. So point 1 is up from here and down from there. So point 1 is here. So that is my point 1. And I'll find the point 1 on the other side now as well. So it's down from here, vertically up from there. Or also I could have brought it across. I could have brought it across parallel to the ground across there as well. You can see there it's lining up. But so there are my 2.1s. I might as well find the 2's next. So vertical from here, vertical from there, project it down. So there's my point 2. Here's my other point 2. And there's the top. Now, if you're bad at curves, you could really lightly join this with straight lines and then just kind of round them in. And the same with the other side, so I'm just joining them light. I'll round off this other side. Now the supports come from the point 1's and they go straight above then the start and the end, so vertically above the start. It's here. Vertically above the end. Is there. And that is this much done, but we're going to see that second leg. Don't know if we're going to see the end of the other leg as well. Sorry, just show you what I'm talking about there. They're showing it here in the pictorial, just a tiny bit of the inside leg and the support on that, so we'll see what we see anyway. Now, what is the easiest way, in my opinion, to do that is I will just set the compass to the width of this. Now you could go projecting. But because I have all these lines to go with here, I'm going to just mark back on all of these until it disappears. So I am going to see that inside point here. So here is my curve coming along here, and I better continue that on there now as well. I better find a point to draw towards. So even though I perfect. So that is the inside part of the curve, and the inside part of point 1 is going from, that's point 1 at the back, and that is going to, I need to find now, that point on the inside of the table is here. So that's going from point 1 towards that until it disappears. And my final question is, will I see any of the back leg here? Now, here is the end, and it's going to be in from there and down from here. So I will actually, I think, it would be down from here. So that is, you can see a tiny bit of it. that would be that extra little mark now that, you know, a lot of people mightn't notice. So there, I'll just set my compass again there to that. Okay, so there is that, and I'll just go up a little, let's come on now. So that'll do me there, just 1 point to go towards there. It just goes up a tiny bit and disappears. Alright. So, draw the elevation and in view oriented as shown and complete the trimetric projection there. Okay, so that was a trimetric projection. And determine the true length of the diagonal then across the top surface of the table. Okay, now how would you get the true length of the diagonal there? Now, personally there, like I would just rabat it. No, that's the true length of the top and that's the true width of it. So the easiest way to do that, in my opinion, be just going to go up here. I could actually use that line, but I'll just draw the whole tabletop there. It might help you to understand it better. So the true width of this was 70. So when I step up 70 here, and that is the true shape of the table. So I'll just use a red borrow there, I think, to show the true length of the diagonal there then, so it doesn't matter which way I put it. So I'll just put TL on that for true length of diagonal. So that there is, I think, the most straightforward way of doing it. So yeah, Sinead, that's it all done. Best of luck with that, guys. Talk to you later.